Many parents of teens with functional neurological disorder or FND come to me feeling very confused about their child's behavior. They may say things like, well, my teen refuses to go to school, or they just get so irritated very easily, or they just shut down when we try to help. And parents often wonder, is this an attitude problem? Is this avoidance? Or is my child just giving up? But in many cases, what looks like behavior is actually the nervous system struggling to regulate for these teens. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 7 common behaviors parents see in teens with FND and explain what may actually be happening in that brain and nervous system. So let's dive in. Hi, my name is Dr. Lee, and I'm a pediatric health psychologist and the founder of Teen FND Academy. A big part of recovery for FND is helping parents understand what their teen's brain and the nervous system are actually experiencing so they can respond in ways that actually support progress. Here is a behavior number 1, avoiding activities. One behavior many parents notice is that their teen starts avoiding activities. Maybe they avoid sports or social events that they used to enjoy, or they just pull back from things that they used to enjoy no matter what it was. And it can leave parents thinking, my gosh, my teen just does not want to try. Frustrating, right? But sometimes something else might be actually happening. Here's the deal. In FND, the nervous system can begin anticipating symptoms. This is all happening subconsciously, by the way, so the parents and teens are not aware. But the brain starts linking certain situations like school, movement, or busy environments, yada, 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 with the possibility that the symptoms might happen or flare or have a setback. And when the brain predicts these symptoms, it may try to protect the body by avoiding that situation altogether. It is not because a teen is lazy. It is because the brain has started labeling that activity as quote unquote dangerous or overwhelming, even if the activity itself is actually not really harmful. So instead of seeing avoidance as a lack of motivation or laziness, it can be helpful for you to see it for what it often is, the nervous system trying to actually stay safe and regulated. And when families understand that, it actually opens the door to helping the brain slowly relearn that those situations can be safe again, step by step by step. A short temper in teens is not always attitude. Sometimes it's the nervous system. Behavior number 2, irritability or a short temper. Another behavior parents often notice is this: increased irritability or grouchy or just having this emotional ups and downs. Maybe your teen snaps more quickly. They seem super frustrated over nothing or small things, or their emotional reactions feel so much bigger than they used to be. And it can leave parents wondering like this: why are they reacting like this? Oh my gosh, is that a teenager thing or is it an attitude thing? What is going on here? Here's the deal. With FND, the nervous system can become very dysregulated fairly quickly. And when that happens, the brain can become more reactive to any kinds of stimuli or stress. A simple way to think about this is when somebody is very overtired or overwhelmed, maybe this happens to you and I, and when the nervous system is already under strain, even small challenges can feel like too much, like, oh my God, this is Mount Everest, we can't even climb. So the reaction you're seeing may not be quote unquote attitude. It may be that your teen's brain simply has less capacity to handle that situation in that moment. Understanding this does not mean ignoring that behavior, to be clear, okay? But it can help parents respond with more clarity because the goal becomes helping the nervous system settle and regulate again, rather than assuming that the teen is just being difficult because it just upsets you furthermore. Behavior number 3, shutting down or withdrawing. Another super common behavior parents sometimes notice is that their teen begins withdrawing or just shutting down. They may go quiet during conversations, for example, or they spend more time alone in their room and God knows what they're doing, right? Or they stop engaging with family the way they used to. So from the outside, it can look like the teen is being distant or doesn't want to talk or maybe being defiant. But in many cases, something else might be happening inside their nervous system. So let me tell you, the nervous system has different protective responses. You may have heard of the term as fight or flight and freeze. And this is something that I talk about all the time. And most people recognize fight or flight, but the freeze response is a little bit different. Freeze is when the brain tries to conserve the energy and reduce the stimulation because everything feels so overwhelming. And in that state, shutting down or pulling back can actually be the nervous system's way to try to cope with that overwhelming sensations and then feelings. And little tidbit here, if you are actually finding yourself or your teen scrolling on the phone like a zombie, kind of like a mindless, scrolling, that is actually part of the frozen response too. So instead of assuming your teen is simply being withdrawn or having this attitude, it can help to understand that their brain may be just trying to slow everything down and protect itself in that particular moment. And when parents recognize that response, because it might be familiar for you as well when you're engaging in this frozen, shutting down, winding down behaviors like a scrolling on your phone, right? Then it becomes easier to support the teen in ways that help the nervous system gradually, with baby steps, feel safer and more regulated again. Here's behavior number 4, needing constant reassurance. Another behavior parents often notice is that their teen starts asking for a lot of reassurance. You may hear questions like, am I okay? Is this normal? What if something happens? Are you sure that I am okay? Are you sure that we're all okay? And these questions may come up again and again throughout the day. And then you are responding, yeah, we're okay. And over time, for the 4th, 5th, and 10th time, you're becoming agitated yourself. And oh my gosh, how many times do I have to respond that we are okay? Here is the deal. When this happened, it's usually, again, not because a teen is trying to be difficult, like they are trying to be, hey, I got you. It's not that. What's oftentimes happening is that their brain is feeling uncertain or unsafe, and it begins to look for signals of safety. The Family Guy shares a handful of practical strategies to help you get out of this survival mode, and it shows why our structured approach gets such a strong result. Grab it from the description below. It is free. And again, this is also part of the survival mechanism for just about anybody. So asking a parent for reassurance becomes a way for their nervous system to temporarily settle down. So in that moment, hearing, yes, you are okay, can help the brain calm itself. But actually, the reassurance is usually a very short-term regulation tool. So it's not the solution. It's like a band-aid approach. So over time, the goal is not to eliminate reassurance overnight, because again, this is all about baby steps in practice. So instead, the goal is to gradually help the team build confidence in their own ability to handle what their body is doing. So step by step, they begin learning how to find that sense of safety within themselves, not just from something or someone else outside of them. Does your teen take forever to decide small things lately? Behavior number 5, difficulty making decisions. Another behavior parents sometimes notice is that their teen suddenly has a hard time making decisions. Maybe this is something that your teen has been doing, but now it's readily noticeable for you. And maybe simple choices take a long time. Things like picking what to eat, choosing what to wear, for example, or deciding what to do next can suddenly feel so overwhelming for these teens. And parents may wonder why on earth something that used to be so easy now feels so difficult, frustrating for you as well. One reason is that when the nervous system is under a lot of stress, the brain's executive function, their ability to stop and think, can become really hard to use. Executive functions are the skills the brain uses for things like planning, organizing, and decision making. When the brain is already busy managing symptoms or regulating the nervous system, then there may be just not enough mental energy available for those tasks. I mean, if you think about it, if you're so tired, you can't really think straight. And think about it, the teens are experiencing the very similar thing on a regular basis, especially with FND. So the teen may start to feel very mentally overloaded even by small decisions. So understanding this, again, for you, can help you approach these moments with more patience and compassion. So instead of seeing it as an indecisiveness, it can also help you to recognize that the brain may just need a little more support and simplicity while the nervous system is under stress. So what does it look like? Instead of giving your teen an open-ended question like, what would you like for dinner? You can say 2 option questions like, would you like chicken or vegetable for dinner, for example. So then the teen only has 2 things to choose, right? So that would be an example. Behavior number 6, being extremely tired, like zombie. Another behavior pattern often parents notice is that their teen seems extremely tired all the time. You may hear things like this: my gosh, my teen is always exhausted. Or she tells me that I am tired all the time. They may sleep more than usual, struggle to get through a day, or say that they feel drained even after resting. Now, this can be confusing for many families, especially if the teen has not done much physically. So you are thinking, oh my gosh, you've been in bed all day, every day for the last 5 days, and then you're still telling me that you're tired? Doesn't make sense. Here's the deal. When the nervous system is dysregulated, as it is with FND, then it actually uses a tremendous amount of energy beyond our imagination. The brain may be constantly monitoring the body and the environment for possible danger, threats, or symptoms. And that kind of ongoing activation, almost like a hypervigilance, takes a lot of effort from the nervous system, as you can imagine. And when that brain stays in that heightened state for long periods of time, it can leave teens feeling physically and mentally drained and exhausted. So the fatigue many teens experience with FND is not simply about get more sleep. It's often the result of the nervous system working way over time, which can leave the body feeling worn out. If your teen with FND suddenly wants to stay close to you all the time, it's not dependency. It's their nervous system looking for safety. Behavior number 7, wanting to stay close to parents. This behavior leaves the parents really wondering because their teen suddenly wants to stay very close to them. This behavior leaves the parents really wondering, looking like they may follow you around the house. They may want you nearby during activities all day, every day, or they may feel very uncomfortable being alone. If you want to see how my full program of Teen FND Academy works and how it's helping families resolve FND for real, then watch the video linked in the description box below. So from the outside, once again, it can sometimes look like the teen is becoming more dependent again, like they're going back to a toddler age, for example. But there is often a nervous system explanation behind this. When the nervous system feels uncertain or unsafe, just like with FND, it naturally looks for safe connection. For many teens, parents become what we call a regulation anchor, whether you like it or not. But being near someone who feels safe can help the nervous system calm down and stabilize. And child innately knows that from their parents, the relationship between a parent and child bond. So this behavior is not necessarily considered an age regression, even though it looks like it. It's often the nervous system asking for the stability and safety while it is under stress. And when families understand that, they can actually support their teens in ways that gradually help the nervous system feel more confident and secure again. When we start viewing these behaviors through a nervous system lens, something important happens because you're no longer unseeing these things, right? Parents stop blaming their teen, number 1, and they also stop blaming themselves. Instead, families can start focusing on helping the nervous system feel safer and more regulated over time, step by step. So if you're a parent trying to support a teen with FND, understanding the brain-body connection is one of the most important first steps that you can do without your teen's involvement. And I have created a playlist that walks parents like you through practical strategies that help teens regulate their nervous system and gradually return to daily life.